Hello everybody, welcome back to our channel as we are getting closer and closer towards the end of this year. I am so excited about our trip down to Gainesville this weekend, and it's not only because this will be our last two shows, but also it's because we haven't had any suitable shows to go to for almost 6 months, I think. So I am very looking forward for this comeback show at Gainesville. So if you are feeling the same as me, let's just keep watching. So we used to do a lot of shows at Florida in the beginning of this year, and back then we haven't switched to our current van. So we were driving a Toyota Sienna for the most of the time, and that car was big enough for all of our paintings and small tent and some other stuff. So after each show we would drive back to home no matter how far we are, because we haven't figured out a way to master what we gonna do if we sell anything. So back then we sort of have to go back and bring some new pieces with us each weekend. Yet ever since we had to switch to our current tent and a little fancier panels, we just started to feel like that Sienna just wasn't big enough anymore. And since we have a van, we can bring more pieces and more stuff with us, so we could never run out of paintings, right? So for instance, if God blessed, we sold out for one of the shows, and my dad could just simply paint more new pieces at either inside our van or at the camping site. So even though this car was a little bit pricier, I truly do recommend anyone who's considering doing this as your career, go purchase a minivan. Even if it's not the newest model, it's still totally worth it. Alright, here is our final look for this time. So, well, apparently, my dad paid a little bit extra booth fee to get this spot. It was on the very beginning of a cross, so this spot was at a very obvious position, and it could attract more people. But to be honest, I personally feel the same though. It didn't make much of a difference. But anyways, we do have some extra space on both right and left sides, so we decided to put out some more paintings there too. And as always, all the paintings are available at our website in the description box, and you guys can always check it out, the painting you feel interested in. So the total hours for us to drive down there is only, let me think, 30 hours-ish. So we could leave home in a daylight time and then, you know, enjoy the view when we travel down to Gainesville. Because we used to travel during the nighttime a lot, so I haven't got any real chance to actually see those beautiful views. And the weather down there was just really awesome too. I used to cannot understand or, you know, get why people like to visit Florida that much during winter season. But now after this show, I kind of know it now. Like, I mean, during that weekend, the weather was just so nice that I remember in the middle of the show, me and my dad were just sitting there and drinking tea and enjoying the sunshine. So especially if you're living in somewhere north or cloudy all the time, I mean, Seattle, I am not talking about you, okay? Florida will be the perfect getaway spot or state for you. So if you ever planning any winter trips now, I think you can definitely put Florida on your top 3 list. Well, one bad thing that happened during this show was, of course, the camping ground that I booked. I was so pissed by that camping site. So here's the thing. When I booked this camping ground, everything looked a-okay. I mean, all the photos and the pictures are shining and pretty. So it got a beautiful surrounding, a cute little office, and close to our festival location and stuff like that. So, however, things were never the same once we actually arrived. So when we finished setup and everything, it was pretty late, but I did call and inform the host that we would be checking late. And they were very cool about it too. And they say just give them a call and they will guide me to my campsite once we arrived. So after we were all tired and sweaty and exhausted, once we finished the setup and everything, and then we arrived at the site, then we discovered the camping ground was actually in the middle of some woods. It was so dark and quiet and seems like the perfect spot for some murder crime scene. If I wasn't with my dad, I would literally be screaming and crying and run away from there. It was another nightmare for me, okay? And guys, of course, it didn't end there. If that was everything, I really wouldn't be this pissed and complaining. So our campsite was in the middle of some circles or something, I really don't know. But the cons for getting a site like that was you would be the free buffet for all the mosquitoes. Okay, I happen to have some sensitive skin and I would be extra itchy if I've got some bites. So, well, and remember, it's Florida. It is still pretty warm during this time of the year. So yes, mosquitoes still alive here. Now, the biggest thing that I absolutely cannot stand is they do not have a shower. Well, actually, they do have a shower, yet that shower is a freaking outdoor shower. There's no ceiling, there's no walls, there's no nothing, okay? Once again, we were in the middle of the woods and there were bugs and flies everywhere. Okay, guys? And I even find out a tiny frog on the ground. Just please imagine you, after a long, tired, sweaty, stinking day, you are begging for some hot, comfortable, relaxing shower and take a good, cozy, soft sleep. And then, once you open that curtain of this outdoor shower, you saw this frog on the ground, and you were looking at the frog, and the frog was looking at you too. And you want to scream, yet you are just too tired to make any sounds. So at this very moment, all of a sudden, I keep repeating this "Out of the Woods" by Taylor Swift. Like, just, are we out of the woods yet? Are we in the clear yet? No, absolutely no. So it's so much. It's too much, okay? It's too much for me. But guys, don't get me wrong, I still did take a shower that day, I just couldn't do it there. So that night, we ended up finding another Love's gas station and purchased the shower room there. So anyways, that campsite's name is Kate's Fish Camp. So if you're having an RV car with a full bathroom, forget about this story. If you don't have a full bathroom with you, be careful, stay away from that campground, pick another one, and save your lives, please. Okay, enough about my miserable camp life. So for this time, we did just fine here at this show, but not because it was a great show, but I think this is one of those crafts show, you know, so all we sold were basically prints. But we did got lucky and sold one of our middle-sized painting, and that covered all of our costs for this trip. So I am satisfied with it, but I don't think we'll be coming back for this show though. It's just too risky for us. Alright, here is all for this weekend, as we all packed up and ready to go to our next long trip, which is at Tempe, Arizona. Man, we had to travel 20 hours. I don't know, it seems like another risky step, but who knows? I'm ready to find out, so please subscribe our channel and I will always keep you updated with our journey down there. See you around!